Hello, my little peasants.
We are not your peasants. I know you're talking to your viewers.
Yeah, and of course I had to do the eyebrow wiggle as soon as the camera turns on. Okay, so hello, my co-highs. I'm doing all my searches early. I'm being so professional this time round. I hope you're all doing well. I am your host, Torano Senpai, joined by Hackersaurus, Meerkat, Lorana, Charles, and Mezzo.
Yo.
Hello there.
Hello.
What's up, peasant? Hey, I am no peasant.
I am no peasant either, but I am here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
I don't know what I am, but I exist.
You're a slave.
Little
Don't
peasant.
ever say that, please.
Phoenix
It's
is
too
not
extreme.
here, so I'm his replacement.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You're a peasant too.
Please, let's just move on from that. It was a terrible bit.
Yes. That was my bad. I am
Like-
sorry.
It wasn't meant to be thought about. It was just something that just happened. But anyway, and today we are going to be checking out the collection of Walking with Dinosaur specials, colloquially known as Chased by Dinosaurs, featuring the one and only Nigel Marvin, who I think is the greatest human being and animal entertainer in the world, basically. Right up there with David
Yeah,
Attenborough.
God.
Oh my god. I wouldn't say he's a god, I'd just say he's just an awesome human being. Who I think, he made a lot of our childhoods back in the day. This is what I know him most for, as well as, of course, Prehistoric Park. And in the future, Forgotten Bloodlines, but as recently as, of course, our one and only voice in Prehistoric Kingdom, who gives little introductions about the dinosaurs and stuff like that. And also made a brief cameo in an episode of Primeval, where he got
Really?
he got munched by a Giganotosaurus. It all comes around. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to this. Hacker, as it turns out, has never actually seen sea monsters, so this will be his first little soiree into this.
Yep. I have it on DVD, but I cannot play it.
Yep.
I think I've seen sea monsters. I'm pretty sure I have.
Well, if you haven't, then this will be quite a jumping point, because once Nigel came into the foray, the Walking With series was never the same again. And
I remember it be.
And of course, we're going to be starting with this in order, which means we're going to start with the giant claw, which, for those of you who are unaware, is kind of a mystery episode, unless, of course, you know about the star dinosaur in question, which, of course, is the Therizinosaurus. And, I'm super hyped about it. This was actually my introduction to a lot of the dinosaurs in this documentary. It was my introduction to Therizinosaurus. It was my introduction to, well, you know what? I won't spoil it because we got some new people here. I just hope we have everyone here in the live chat. Well, unfortunately, Phoenix will not be joining us because he is partaking in Dungeons and Dragons, which we will actually do on the channel at some point, but with Dr. Durlin's Dictionary of Dinosaurs at some point, so stay tuned.
Mesh in person, or is he in a call or something?
Probably, I don't really know. He didn't say. But I'm super excited about this. But of course, before we get started with the watch party, let's break it down once again for anyone who is new. So, as I've said before, in dozens of my watch parties, I can't show the what we're watching on screen. If I do, it's a copyright claim or copyright strike, and I don't want that. So instead, there is a timestamp below my webcam which tells you how far along we are in the episode. Typically, we have an episode number, but because these are two Walking with Dinosaur specials, and of course, the Sea Monsters trilogy, for the actual dinosaur specials, I've left the name of the episode at the bottom so that you can tell which episode you're in. But obviously, when we get to the Sea Monsters trilogy, we'll go back to episodes 1, 2, 3, and that sort of stuff. And there's there will be full spoilers ahead. So if you have not seen Chased by Dinosaurs or Sea Monsters, well, if for whatever reason you're not watching as we are, then you're not going to be in for a good time. So, with that out of the way, lights out. And I will go ahead and share my screen with you guys in the Discord.
Thank
Oop.
you.
I'm assuming you can see the screen. It's just black right now.
Yep.
Yep.
It's dark.
Okay. Let me get my tools ready. I checked all my audio, so I don't have to worry about you guys, me, or the desktop. Let me just check my clock, make sure that's working, which it is. All right. And for those of you playing Keep at Home, the magic word for this one is. Ooh, let me think of a good one. Goosebumps.
You must beware. You're in for a scare.
Whatever.
We thought the same fucking thing.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So everyone get ready. 3, 2, 1. Goosebumps. Wait a minute. Do I have the right episode pulled up?
Yeah.
I feel like I might have the wrong episode pulled up.
You have the right one.
Is it? Hold on. Let me actually confirm. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so let me try to sync it up again.
Blood.
So they spoiled the big surprise in the intro.
Yeah. Oopsie.
That's just sucks.
Right. Well, we're all synced up now again, so it's fine.
I like to theorize that like he used a time travel machine from Prehistoric Park. Whoa!
Hell yeah.
It's funny. It's funny just because it's like we know what Therizinosaurus looks like. But
Yep.
It's like for people who are watching this for the first time, they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yep. That was my reaction when I saw it. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Same. I think this was my introduction too, actually.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
me
same.
too.
Mine as well.
Like I saw this on Netflix back in the day.
I just saying, I watched this
I
on
remember
Netflix.
Yeah, this was on Netflix back in those good old days.
But like then didn't have the Sea Monsters episodes. So at least in Netflix Canada.
Might be a bit too big.
Yeah, and they're missing those little scoots on their backs.
And it's just a modified version of the Edmontosaurus model.
Granted, a lot of the dinosaur models in the original Walking with Dinosaur series were just modified versions of each other.
Oh, fuck. Of course.
Oh
Fuck! Not this shit again!
Ah, no.
Ah, for fuck's sake!
upper.
Yes. Just takes it like a champ.
Uh-oh.
Boy, he's in for a shot. God, why do you have to be so charming?
It's so corny. It's so corny, but
Bro
I
has
can't help but
aura.
love it.
Dude has aura.
He's beautiful.
He's gorgeous. He's Owen Grady if Owen Grady was cool.
I mean, Chris Pratt was kind of cool, but this guy's cooler.
Dude has infinite aura.
Yes. He has more aura than Chris Pratt. And I love Chris
Kind
Pratt,
of
but
looks like Alan Grant there with the hat
yeah, definitely.
and Indiana Jones.
Dude would have had a blast if he were in Jurassic World.
Oh, he would. He would never want to leave.
No, I mean if he worked on the if he was working on the movie.
I don't see
as
Kyle
well.
anywhere. I guess we're gonna have to continue without him.
Yay. I wish we got more episodes of this of Chased by Dinosaurs. Like we do have like the sea monster specials, but it's like I wish we had more episodes like this.
He has become a
Hmm.
Triceratops Wrangler.
Like imagine we got an episode in fucking like early Cretaceous Mongolia or in early Cretaceous Africa is what I was trying to
Yep.
say.
Even the cameramen have a hell of a time getting past them.
Dude just leaves them.
That'd be fucked.
Help us, Nigel! Nah.
Bye.
You snooze, you lose.
Try not to get your arm bitten.
Or cut off.
And I'm pretty sure the reason he agreed to this because he already did a show called Giants, where he looked for the biggest animals like around. So it was like here's a pitch. What if we did that show, but with dinosaurs?
I would absolutely jump on this opportunity.
And he did. And he did.
He was a dinosaur enthusiast.
Can we just like have like this kind of like premise again? Just like these goofy, fun little campy dino adventure stories that are like educational but just really fun too.
Oh, that should be familiar. If you put feathers on it.
Oh my god, it's a T-Rex! No, it's a raptor.
Is it a copy?
Nope, velociraptors.
Yeah, it's too big for a compy.
Actually, Compy is now believed to have been almost velociraptor sized.
God damn it!
Skeletally, these velociraptors are perfect, but their wrists need to be
Their
fixed,
wrists are broken.
and
missing feathers.
they're missing feathers. Apart from that, this is a properly proportioned raptor. So I'd say, despite the lack of feathers, this is actually still one of my top velociraptor designs.
That's pretty good.
No shit.
And look! They're actually hunting a dinosaur they would have actually hunted.
Even if they are a little funky looking.
Yep. By the way, everyone, I think the giant claw versions of Velociraptors are better than the JP counterparts. And it's not an opinion, that's a fact. No, that's an opinion.
What was the opinion?
That this is better than the JP Raptors. And I'm like,
That is
yeah,
definitely-
they are.
Definitely opinion.
They are when you're talking about like how you should depict a Velociraptor. But I actually would say I prefer the Jurassic Park 3 Raptors over these.
Oh
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
It just should have been smaller.
Yep.
Aw, poor Ting.
Oh well.
But hey, that's life.
That's live. That's...
Sorry I'm late. Didn't quite get the notification. All good, Kyle. But look at that one raptor there that's kind of hanging back. That is a clear reference to the Mongolian fighting dinosaurs, which preserved a velociraptor locked in combat with a protoceratops. Both of them died and fossilized together, with the protoceratops biting the raptor's arm, while the raptor had its killing claws in the protoceratops' stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a lovely little Easter egg to a real-life discovery.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that.
It's also like a really nice depiction because it's not like always the controversies are going to come up without any consequences. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. However, I like the idea that the raptor wasn't the one who initiated it, but that the protoceratops did. If I recall, the model and sound design for the Velociraptor Protoceratops are reused in The Truth About Killer Dinosaurs. The Protoceratops, yes. The Velociraptor, no. Because that one actually has feathers. And here's an introduction to another dinosaur I didn't know about until this documentary.
That's a very unsecure looking tent.
And Meerkat, you're aware of how small the arms of a Carnotaurus is, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, imagine a dinosaur with even smaller arms. And then you get these guys.
What are these?
In fact, these guys also have the least amount of fingers of any dinosaur. Only one. One finger with one claw. The sound ambience, though, is reused in the Truth About Killed Dinosaurs. Yes. They're still a bit too big. But, oh well.
They're like, yeah, they're like emus.
Wait,
Size.
what?
He's gonna go and catch it.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck with
I
that.
remember this part.
No, I remember it. I remember it deeply.
Look at him.
When I showed this in my school, everyone was like saying, like, you're trying to kidnap a dinosaur.
But why is he trying to catch it? Oh.
To get a closer look.
Why not?
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna close.
I mean,
So he can
there
turn
it
it
is.
into an animatronic.
Wildlife presenters do this with all animals, really. They try to catch them to show them off.
So that's so funny.
Yeah. I will say, this animatronic has not aged well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's too
It
big.
could be better.
It's too big. That face is too scaly. There isn't enough feathers. Honestly, prehistoric Plants Mononicus is the better one.
Yep, and the feathers are kind of raggedy.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely could be better, but not the worst.
It's cool to see a animatronic though.
Yep. Be free. So there's a story behind this.
WWE.
There's apparently a shot earlier in this where he was chased by a pack of raptors, and as he was climbing a tree, he accidentally stepped on his finger.
Oh.
Ooh.
So they used this. So I used it for this shot to make it seem like he got bitten by a Mononicus.
That's nice.
A happy little accident. Oh, go on! You ate my pet. There are some Alvarezsaurids, though, that do preserve two tiny claws alongside the large single claw. Perhaps in life they were scared by feathers. Yeah, they had claws, but they didn't exactly have fingers. Was going to mention that here. Yep. I watched the Gaming Beaver interview.
Mention what?
When he interviewed Nigel.
Mm.
That's a lie. At the moment, we don't actually have any fossils of monitor lizards from this time or place. It's possible they were there, but we have no actual proof of them.
Answer Claire.
And this wouldn't be the last time he fondled a pile of herbivore dung.
Of course it wasn't.
Fraser Island and the Canary Islands were really good filming locations for these two. I agree. Again, if you actually know what Therizinosaurus is before you see this episode, the mystery element is kind of obsolete. because we all know, and you know, Meerkat, because of Paleopines, Therizinosaurus was a plant eater.
Mm-hmm. Murder chicken.
Oh, here comes another dinosaur I was introduced to thanks to this documentary.
T-Rex?
Nope.
Or...
That was Tarbosaurus.
Same. That was an
Tarbo!
introduction.
And it's a much more high quality model than the T-Rex.
Yep.
Same, man. This was my introduction too, and
Yep.
way better than the Camp Cretaceous model.
Yeah. When I first saw it, like, wait, what? There's another dinosaur like T-Rex in Asia? It blew my mind. Maybe have a mystery about its plates and their purpose in life. Oh, yeah, there was a Stegosaurus in the intro. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Oh, there we go.
Ah!
Oh!
Stop.
drop and roll.
Yeah, I think this was everyone's introduction to Tarbosaurus.
Oh yeah. But I didn't remember it was in the documentary, but it probably was my first introduction to it.
Yep.
Because I didn't see the horrible Spickles movie until way later.
I wish I had never seen it. Or its sequel.
I remember seeing it as a
I've
kid.
seen both.
This was my first introduction to Tarbo. Thankfully, thank God.
If you put some more flesh on the head and fix the hand position, this Tarbosaurus would probably have been the most accurate depiction for the time. Which is why I'm glad we have Prehistoric Planet's Tarbosaurus. That thing is a thing of beauty.
Mhm.
Prehistoric Kingdoms as well, because it actually has like a throat dewlap.
I wouldn't mind if they add Tarbo to the mod.
Probably won't, though. Hey, at least this Chased by Dinosaurs Tarbosaurus is infinitely better than what we had in Camp Cretaceous and Speckles
Oh,
Tarbosaurus. Yeah, I feel like a lot of Tarbosaurus designs are either hit or miss.
Prehistoric Planet and Prehistoric Kingdom has some really good ones.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, they're the best. And then you got
Those are the definitive versions of Tarbosaurus. Ah, fuck!
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Good day, sir.
What I
Whoopsie
usually
doo.
say besides
Day
bed
to you,
is
sir.
Oh yeah, and this really puts into perspective how long the arms are of a Therizinosaurus.
How do you find the bones so clean, though?
This show on YouTube only saw sea monsters on the Discovery Channel, which I kind of mentioned yesterday. Yeah, when they did that sponsorship with SeaWorld. You know what would have made for a more compelling mystery?
What?
If Gigantoraptor had been found by this time.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Also, I must state again, we have no actual evidence that raptors were pack hunters.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where we're just kind of like, we're going to always believe and think because, it's just such a big part of media now.
Yeah, you're right, because Therizinosaurus arms are long. Yeah. But yeah, this scene where he was chased by the raptors, that's where he stepped on his finger. How to repel predators and people with autism. And I can make that joke. Because I am on the spectrum.
I might be on the spectrum. I don't know.
Actually,
Definitely on that spectrum.
we could confirm 3 of the people in this call are on the spectrum.
You, me,
3?
and
Yeah, Charles too.
Oh,
Charles, you're on the
didn't know
spectrum?
that, Charles.
It's
I
also-
thought I
He's a
told you guys. I thought I told you guys.
It's at best possible the big ones did hunt, but smaller ones probably not. I'm more likely to believe raptors may have hunted in family groups, like parents and babies, but not like unassociated individuals, like we see, in Jurassic Park.
So yeah,
Oh.
then you tism, bro.
Here we go.
Here we go. And now we are 24 minutes into the episode, and we finally get a reveal. And you know what? Give that thing some feathers, and it's perfect. That's literally one of the best Therizinosaurus designs in paleo media.
Yeah, it just looks so weird without feathers.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it looks naked.
Well, to be
Yeah,
totally honest,
Turkey.
Therizinosaurus probably didn't have a fluffy coat because it's such a big animal, and having that many feathers would probably be a hindrance more than an advantage. So maybe Dominion's depiction of Therizinosaurus feathers isn't that far off.
I'm saying like put a big coat on him. I'm just saying like put some
Some
on him and
feathers,
he'd be
yeah.
fine.
But
Yeah.
even
There's
so,
a
this
little bit
looks.
somewhere.
But even so, it still looks really good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Also, anytime I hear these sounds, I only think of the Therizinosaurus. Getting a little too close to that Tarbo's ass. Again, realistic predatory behavior.
Yep, and the fight ends with just one slap.
Yep. Even though we now know Therizinosaurus probably didn't actually use its claws to inflict damage.
That is true.
They wouldn't.
Could-
The claws wouldn't have been able to bear that much stress. They would have snapped. It's more likely they were just for show, and also for grabbing, like plants, like that. The Therizinosaurus is more or less the same colors as the Coelophysis for walking with dinosaurs, just missing some red on the head. Yeah.
So yeah, they couldn't use their claws for defense, so that is why I prefer my danger duck.
Yep. And also, props to them to actually showing Therizinosaurus having all 4 toes on the ground.
Yeah. Just like Seaver, and he has to go and touch it.
I gotta touch it.
It's like
He's
that.
angry. He's angry.
What's that dude from like Florida who just goes up to dangerous animals and just yoinks them?
I know who you're talking about. I just forgot their name.
Yeah,
But
it's just the dinosaur equivalent.
you're not too far off, Meerkat. Just watch how these guys react. He touched it.
I touched the
Don't
butt.
touch. He's like Sarah Harding.
I mean, if you saw that, would you try to touch it?
Oh, I would
No.
absolutely go to touch it.
No,
I
I'd be
couldn't.
too
Whales?
scared.
I mean, they
Whales?
couldn't. They can't use their. They don't use their claws for defense, so I might
It's
as
still
well.
a giant motherfucking
Wait for it.
creature.
Wait for it. And that was episode 1 of the Walking with Dinosaurs specials, featuring Nigel Marvin.
Episode uno, dos, episode dos.
Uno.
What do you think of that, Meerkat?
I liked it. I think it's cute.
Yep.
I do miss
Oh.
my fluffy theory, though.
Well, this was
Yeah.
before the time we kind of came to the theory that this was before we kind of came to the idea that Therizinosaurs might have been feathered.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Well,
still,
actually, I don't know. I don't know. How long did it take for us to find evidence of them having feathers? Like,
Well, the first feathered Therizinosaur we found was Falcarius. And that's a really small Therizinosaur. So that was kind of like the smoking gun that Therizinosaurs had feathers. But because Therizinosaurus itself was such a big animal, it probably didn't have as much of a coat. But anyway, that was the giant claw, which introduced us to, a lot of really cool dinosaurs. I didn't know about Mononychus, Tarbosaurus, or Therizinosaurus up until I saw this as a kid. Now they're kind of like household names for me, especially now that Tarbosaurus and Therizinosaurus have had spotlights in the Jurassic World franchise. So they're kind of more of a big name. Now we get to the episode. It was my introduction to Giganotosaurus. To be honest, if we were kids and we saw a full-blown Therizinosaurus, I think we would go ahead and touch it. On the DVD, Land of Giants is the first episode, and the Giant Claw was the second. Yes, but it actually aired in reverse, where it was actually Land of Giants that came first, and then the Giant Claw.
that in the episode, in the Giant Claw, Nigel says that it's his introduction
To the Dinosaur
to the
Safari.
world of dinosaurs.
So it makes more sense that the Giant Claw would be the first of the two.
Yes.
There was an Asdarco in the Giant Claw. Yeah, it was, but it looks nothing like an Asdarkid.
Now, to be clear, this isn't a 1957 sci-fi horror movie that features a giant killer bird, right?
Do what now?
What now?
Look up the giant claw online, and you'll get it.
But anyway, we will now be moving on to Land of Giants, not to be confused with the Walking with Beast episode that goes by the same name. And is hilariously a part of the franchise. But this introduced me to, once again, a couple of other new dinosaurs. And one of it is, of course, the biggest dinosaur we know of so far. Confidently. There might actually be ones that are even bigger.
Jesus, ancient brother Bob.
What?
Like you said, Tyler, this was your first introduction to Giga. Funny enough, my first introduction to Giga was fucking Dinosaur Train.
For me, this was the one. I mean, that probably also comes with the fact that I'm older.
For me, it was that one Journey to the Center of the Earth film with
Let's
Brendan
be told.
Fraser.
Let's be totally honest.
Oh,
that
yeah.
that was not a
That is
Giganotosaurus.
that is a T-Rex with an extra finger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah.
like, so I thought it was a Tyrannosaurus, but apparently it's a Giga, but that's clearly modeled after a T-Rex.
I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Like, why even call it Giga if it doesn't look like Giga?
Yeah,
Like, I only watched this movie because of that dinosaur.
like shoot. At least 65. Yeah, they suffer from a crisis, but at least you can kind of tell what they're supposed to be. The Giganotosaurus, it's just a T-Rex with a third finger. It looks nothing
Well,
like a
actually,
Giga.
Yeah, but I do think Journey to the Center of the Earth is still a better movie than 65 because it's just more corny fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time a Kakar dinosaur in the franchise.
The Earth is just forgettable, in my opinion.
Actually, that's not entirely true, Kyle. Because with this new Walking with Dinosaurs, we actually have confirmation Kakar Dinosaurus itself will be coming. And well, I guess that Giganosaurus from Journey to Center Earth may be kind of a reference to how a T-Rex would look in the 1950s. I mean, I guess, whatever. Okay. So, I think with all that out of the way, it's time to get to Land of Giants. The magic word is pancake. Because I like pancakes. Okay?
Hell yeah.
Are you donkey
Yeah.
in disguise?
Huh?
I said, are you donkey in disguise?
Donkey
No,
likes
Donkey likes
He
waffles.
prefers
Waffles.
waffles.
He likes waffles.
Same thing.
No, it's not. It
No,
is.
it's not.
It's not.
It really
It's
is not.
the same thing.
Okay, anyway.
You're a
3.
criminal.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Pancakes.
Y'all are
Criminal.
hilarious.
But yeah, it's not because different texture, different shape,
Hey,
different
hey,
make.
hey, hey.
Yep.
I don't want to.
Same type of dough, though.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh, those faces.
Yeah, the Argentinosaurus
their
did not age
faces
well.
have not aged well.
Everything about them hasn't aged well.
They look like Kron from Disney's Dinosaur.
I actually had pancakes for breakfast this morning. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Yeah, there's a Stegosaurus.
Hello, Stegosaurus.
What are those?
Well, in the episode they're called iguanodonts, but honestly, we have no idea what the hell these things are. There is some indeterminate iguanodon remains from South America, but they haven't been given a description or a name. If I'm remembering correctly. You're 1 million year off, but back then we didn't know that. Realistically, this should have taken place 95 million years ago. Our reused iguana. Oh yeah, these iguanodon models are actually also reused from BBC's version of The Lost World. I don't think we actually have any skull material from Argentinosaurus.
We don't. I don't think so.
And even then, that's not what Argentinosaurus' heads should look like.
Again, it's very Kron looking, and I don't like it.
Oh, you mean T-Rex, right? Right?
Right.
Yeah, sure. Ooh, that's a cool shot.
Hi.
I like the color of those iguanodont models. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's entirely speculative, but we actually can guess what Argentinosaurus looked like because of closely related species. This is based on an actual dig site called Aqua Moevo. That's soccer to us. The dig site where this is based in, you can't go like a single step without stepping on the eggs. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why that connector looks like a Tamara head.
Yeah. But yeah, the head, basically the whole thing needs to be scrapped.
Yeah, this thing is yikes.
Yeah.
Look at it! Look at it!
For
Look at
one,
it!
for one, the front legs need to be longer. The neck needs to be craned upwards, and the head needs to be made less box-like and more long-snouted. And maybe
You
for
also
a bit
need
of speculation, put some osteoderms along the sides.
And also don't give it a fucking human face. Yeah.
That's why I said make the skull longer and not as
Yeah,
tall.
make it more
Yeah.
Diplodocus.
Ah, here we go.
Honestly, it kind of looks like the Titanosaurs from Rebirth.
A little bit.
Head-wise.
Not really.
There's Lorana's apex of choice.
Ooh.
What is that supposed to be?
Sarcosuchus.
Yep.
Oh.
However, it doesn't belong here in terms of location or time because Sarcosuchus is only known from Africa and would have already died out by this point.
Wasn't there a species from South America though?
Nope.
Wait, because I swear to God there was like a there was two species of Sarcosuchus, right? There was
So
the one
shrunken. When I watched this show, the Sarcosuchus was stated to be over 15 meters long, which is about 50 feet. In this version, it's only 40 feet. So shrunken down a bit in size, but still nowhere near 10 meters. The real animal was in life. Oh yeah, this thing is grossly oversized. It's more along the size of a Perusaurus.
Yeah.
Well, this thing also isn't a crocodilian. It's related, but it's not.
But wasn't it confirmed that
Okay,
Sarcosuchus?
alright. So the one from Africa is Sarcosuchus imperator. There's one from Brazil called Sarcosuchus harti.
Ah.
So
okay, so I stand corrected.
There is one in South America. It's just in the wrong place and in the wrong time.
Not to mention,
It's
probably
in Brazil.
probably still oversized.
Yeah, it is still grossly oversized, but the model looks great.
Oh yeah, it's a perfect, like, it's very hard to screw up a Sarcosuchus. That's basically perfect.
Yeah, but
My
wasn't it
ideal
confirmed?
model.
Huh?
Yeah, but wasn't it confirmed that Sarcosuchus never like had a proper like full grown stopping point? Like, don't they just grow forever?
Well,
I mean, basically all crocodilians like to keep growing until they fucking die,
but their growth does slow down
they do slow down to a certain extent. It's
to the
why we
point
don't
where
have, like,
to the point where, you know, eventually they reach a point where they have to stop. But it all comes with age, and chances are Sarcosuchus probably didn't get much bigger than 30 feet. I can already hear the Liopleurodon and the Basilosaurus saying, "Welcome to the oversized club, Sarcosuchus." Oh, and Kyle just confirmed, Sarcosuchus harti is from South America, but only in Brazil, and is the earliest species.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure these sound effects are from Prehistoric Beast, from Phil Tippett. Again, they suffer from the fact that, like, every ornithopod just fell under the Iguanodon name. Again, Wastebastic taxon, but still allowed to keep one species in the group. One of the Kairos was oversized too in these shows. Yep. Oh, here's another reused Lost World animal. That also is not from South America.
It is not supposed to be here.
Yep. But it still looks really good.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yep. I love the colors of these guys.
Dude, come on! I gotta
What?
get hurt.
He's a professional.
I know, but dude
He
is
knows
like
what he's doing.
Motherfucker will like eventually slip off that cliff.
Wrong place and wrong time. Yep. Oh. And get ready for a little error in editing.
Pterodon.
I still love the color scheme of these Pteranodon. Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, get ready for the error. Watch what happens when Nigel tosses the fish. You see it land on the ground in the water.
Yeah.
But I did not see that. It's too
No, I
pixelated
saw
Yeah,
for
they-
me.
They forgot to chroma key it
I saw
out,
it.
and you just see the fish land as the tide's coming
in
in.
the water. Yep.
Wow.
Oop! It's
I
like
missed it. I guess you could say that it missed it.
nah, because it looked like it caught it. It's just like when that person put the hand on the raptor animatronic in Jurassic Park.
Or you see the ropes that like move the car in that one scene in Jurassic Park. Like because they flipped over the car with ropes.
Oh,
Hell.
I never noticed that roar at the end. Like, foreshadowing what's coming. Why do these pterosaurs remind me of JP3 one, except they don't have any teeth? Nigel, funnily enough, pronounced the Pteranodon as pterodon in the altered version, which is still wrong. It's Pteranodon, obviously.
Yeah. The
Ow!
ears.
Can someone confirm if that is true or not?
Well, they actually recently did a study on T-Rex teeth and how quickly they would regrow. Apparently, it would take roughly about 2 years for a new tooth to replace the old one. In the time it takes for it to grow and then push its way out. I wonder if he played Jurassic Park the game.
Maybe.
I do like the build up of the reveal of the Giga though. Who'd thunk the
Yeah,
Allosaurids would rival Tyrannosaurus in size before it was a thing? Oh yeah, it's only because things like Acrocanthosaurus and Giganotosaurus went extinct that that Tyrannosaurs could take over. I will admit this scene is kind of sad to watch.
Yeah.
Stop.
And the fact that then by the time we do see the Giga, it looks absolutely fantastic. And yep. And there it is. So again, another fun fact. This documentary was like in production by the time Mapusaurus was named. So it was believed back in the day that Mapusaurus might have been Giganotosaurus, but then they found it to be a totally different species. So by the time this documentary came out, it was a bit too late to change it from Giganotosaurus to Mapusaurus. Ironically, this model bears more of a resemblance to Meraxes than Giganotosaurus, which wasn't discovered until the 2020s.
Wow. What a discovery.
But nice little detail is a splotch of blood where it might have lost its tooth. Oh yeah, that was really cool. Remember the iguana, and he was always my favorite. Actually, I'm pretty sure the iguanodon that we see the Giga carry off was a different one because it was smaller. And and definitely would not have been able to pick up that big one.
This is my favorite scene in the episode.
Yep.
Oh, same. Gorgeous.
And
shots.
my favorite soundtrack in this 2-part special. It's gorgeous. Would you do this? Like, would
Oh,
you
yeah, no,
actually?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Would you take a
No.
paraglider out to fly alongside
I will be
pterosaurs?
I will be the first one on that plane.
Oh no, me. I would.
I will
that plane.
push
No, I would not.
motherfuckers. I will push motherfuckers onto the ground to get onto that plane first.
I think it'd be
I would
incredibly
too.
fun. Well, these kind of planes, it could fit 2 people, right? Oh, and look, here's a familiar face. But again, shouldn't be here.
Ah,
And is grossly oversized.
Again. Again,
You
still
should
too big.
be here, idiot.
But I
Go
guess
back to your time.
you know, they gotta keep it consistent, right? Or it's a continuity error. The music and
fucking
cinematography
vagina
are really good.
universe.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous.
they're not like Walking with Dinosaurs level of greatness, but my god, it's still like amazing.
Oh. And there they are. That view would be spectacular. Like they look
there's a-
small, but the biggest one of those would be over 100 feet long. Go ahead, Mezzo.
I was gonna say, I know there's a Minecraft mod for this on the marketplace.
Well, the thing is, like,
has
fossils and archaeology, they mentioned they would like to add Argentinosaurus, and they actually have a model for it, and it is
I know, it's
amazing.
just
No,
I
there's
know, I'm
there's
just
like
saying,
a
and I
what he's talking about. There's like an actual like Minecraft add-on that has this like on Bedrock.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, it has Nigel Marvin actually voicing it.
Basically, Godzilla.
Yeah.
No, because Godzilla is, I think, 5 times as big in terms of length, depending on the iteration.
I would love like a scene like this in a Jurassic Park movie. Like we're driving through like a sauropod herd. That would be great.
Oh yeah.
What would be even cooler is if the herd was spooked
Well-
and basically they did King Kong, where the car would either get flipped over or
Yes.
crushed.
Like,
know,
it
finally-
might be cool over the truck,
finally
then
give-
crush
yeah.
in the stampede.
Yeah, finally, like, destroy that trope of sauropods being just gentle giants that are just cannon fodder for carnivores. Make sauropods dangerous.
Make sauropods dangerous again.
Oh, the Ornithochirus is actually in the right time. It did live in Europe, though, when this episode was set. So it's the right time, just the wrong place.
Oh my god, it's British.
Not quite. It's European, not specifically British.
I know it's a joke.
Jesus Christ, they know how to rip a fat one, don't they?
Ugh.
Oh yeah, can I mention something else? Is actually think a hundred times better than. Yeah, I think I would prefer this Giganotosaurus design if it was in Jurassic World.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
1,000 times.
Like
It
The
looks
Giganotosaurus-
it looks like something I would see in Jurassic Park.
Although I will say,
I don't
I
agree.
would still make the head not exactly like the Dominion Giga, but make the skull taller and the snout shorter.
Oh, you mean the Giga? I thought you meant these guys. I was
Oh,
like,
no!
no.
No! Hell no!
Why the fuck would I say that? Slap me for if I actually deadass said that, slap me.
Yeah.
I will.
Like
and like,
give me the most crisp fucking slap.
There's some from the Argentinosaurus in this episode. Yeah, it's used for the Styracosaurus in JPOG.
I honestly don't know how to crip slap somebody, but I'm sure we could find out.
yeah, but
Yeah.
no, I definitely agree. Like I would prefer this Giga. Because like the Dominion one has that like 2000s
Edgelord.
edgy AMV, edgelord AMV,
Yeah.
YouTube vibe.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I feel like it
Oh,
would.
this. Yep. I wonder if these guys
I
watch The
like
Lost
the-
World.
The hump spikes on it in Dominion.
Again, I wonder if these guys watched The Lost World and wanted to incorporate that. Oh, that'd be pants filling. A Giganotosaurus chasing down a Jeep. If I recall correctly, those things are capable of reaching a top speed of 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Oh god.
Significantly faster than T-Rex.
Is that speed estimate still good?
Yeah, it actually is.
Oh shit.
Giganotosaurus isn't as heavy as the T-Rex, so it has a lot more to work with. And also,
I would have said
but its traded speed for agility, which is the category T-Rex has it beat in. Oh yeah, this is also going to be kind of hard to watch. To be honest, I think the Jurassic World Giga would look better if they just called it Acrocanthosaurus. I don't really think we should perpetuate that.
Let's not go that far.
No.
No.
Especially considering the fact that Acrocanthosaurus is my favorite of the large Carcharodontosaurs.
I think people would have hated it less if they didn't give it that weird fucking concavinator-esque
Hump.
like hump, yeah.
Yeah, the hump spike thing.
There we go.
I'm still baffled by that.
I mean, I'm not too opposed to it, as Giga remains are notoriously known for being shit.
I know, but from other Carcharodontosaurids, it's like, why?
Oh, that's a sound that's familiar. That's Ace's roar from Dinosaur King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is sadly how Giganosaurus would have hunted. They would have taken basketball-sized chunks of flesh from their prey while it was alive.
The audio's a little out of sync.
Can use the evolution design of the Giga, which is infinitely better. The Giga roars would be used for the Tyrannosaurus in Dragons and the Cave Bear in Prehistoric Park. Yep. God, this shot in particular is so badass.
Mm-hmm.
With the Giganosaurus just stalking closer.
Oh god.
When I first watched this as a kid, I thought it was a Giga sneaking up behind Nigel.
Oh, J-Bug sound.
Yep. And the hunt is still going. Yeah, that's how you know this hunt's gone on, number one, for too long, and that Nigel actually, feels a little sympathetic, because that Argentinosaurus is suffering, and until it dies, because let's be honest, it's dead, it's gonna still be in a world of pain. So,
I mean, I would feel bad.
kudos to them for not lingering on that. I guess even Walking With has a limit to how much they're willing to how much brutality they're really willing to show.
I mean, I would feel bad if they weren't ugly as sin.
Oh, there we go.
What?
I had to reseat my butt.
And you had to say that the moment an egg popped out of an Argentinosaurus. But this is how sauropods would have laid their eggs. They would have just squatted.
It is a little
Well, it's not the
odd
big-
that they don't break from that fucking height.
Again, squatting. And they're specifically designed to resist those kind of forces.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad it doesn't look like the big trunk
the
take from the
it's called an ovipositor. And that's how that ended.
Came to say hello again.
And we never saw Nigel again.
Yep. And that was the 2 Walking with specials. The Giant Claw and Land of Giants. So, how are we feeling about after seeing those 2 specials?
Certified banger.
Pretty good.
yes.
Pretty
It's
good.
a great show. I just wish there was more episodes.
I know. A lot of people ask for that, but it's like, well, you know the answer to that? Sea monsters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to after this break, because we are about halfway through the evening. So, I think now is the time for us to have a little break. Stretch our legs, get water, use the restroom, grab snacks, do whatever, and we'll be right back. We're back! Did you miss us? I think you did. I'm
Hey,
back
look,
to...
I love you.
I'm back
You
to watch...
broke my Switch.
Hello, I'm talking.
Sorry.
I'm back to continue watching on my phone. That's all well and good. Right. So, we're now delving into unfamiliar territory with Hacker. He has never seen sea monsters before now. So this will be...
Neither have I.
So this would be interesting. Because now we are leaving... Well, we're leaving dry land and exploring the prehistoric seas. And what I think is the best Walking with Dinosaurs spin-off. So,
Nice.
for this magic word, we are using the word Jaws. Which I think is a fitting name for episode 1. So, I hope everyone's got their snacks, like I do, and almost spilled. And I hope everyone's got their drinks.
I'm gonna behave. I'm not gonna use the Jaws thing.
Please don't.
Already did for you.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Jaws. Again, stellar soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
What Nigel is about to learn about prehistory is that no matter how that things get on land, the one thing you should never ever do is get into the water. Welcome to hell, Nigel.
Welcome to hell,
Motherfuckers!
Ouch, too loud.
Sorry.
Oh, I meant Charles.
Sorry.
Oh, and you'll also see why I initially wanted to name my scorpion after Nigel.
Oh my god, Megalodon.
Karen Haley does the occasional narration in this version. Christopher Cook did the Discovery Channel version. God, my favorite episode of this entire thing is the one at sea. Oh yeah.
I don't even know which one I have on my DVD because I can't even use it.
I love the little like attention to detail of getting an oxygen tank. That's like nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although-
that's cool.
Although it's now believed there might have actually been plants during this time. Very primitive, but still.
Would that be enough oxygen still?
Oh no.
I honestly don't know.
World, the world may never know.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. This was filmed in a landfill.
Well, then he
Possible.
definitely would have needed an oxygen mask because that shit is nasty.
I wonder if the ET cartridges are there.
No, they found those.
I would find those, but it's a joke.
Oh,
With those landfills.
yes.
I want to try to find the locations they filmed these episodes at.
I'm sure Kyle will tell us. And that's interesting, right? Because there wouldn't have been animals on the land at this point. So anything that just washed up on the beach is just dead in there. And apparently, that fish is meant, I think, meant to be Aridaspis, which is a fish that has a constantly shocked expression. This was shot off the coast of the Red Sea in Egypt. Oh,
Oh,
here it comes.
Oh,
If you guys watch my Minecraft series, you should know this creature well.
Oh,
It's
it's one
hideous.
of those.
Yep, Megalographis.
Megalo-
The exact species. Now you know why I named my Marvin.
Ow,
Oh!
ow.
The book version identifies the fish as Astraspis. Astraspis. Never mind.
Still, it's a very
Ow.
similar model.
Mm.
Yep. Don't know if that's real blood, like the Monaco scene
They're
was,
still around.
or
Actually, I thought all the scrapes and stuff that he gets from these, he actually uses for shots where it's like, oh, a dinosaur did this to me, or a dinosaur did that to me.
Yep. But yeah.
I wonder if they use an actual carcass from these.
No, this is clearly a prop.
Hmm.
I actually have a trilobite fossil that's about that big.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of another creature. Never mind. Because like there is creatures from like the dinosaurs that are still alive.
Yep.
That look like this. What are they called? Horseshoe crabs?
Yep,
The
that's
horseshoe
what. Yep,
crab. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm pretty sure they're closely related to horseshoe crabs. Maybe. Oh,
Which animals are we talking about?
trilobite. But did you hear that bit where he said that like he was gonna pop out one of its eyes to put in a camera? And the camera, and that little detail where the cameraman turned away so he didn't have to see it.
Mhm.
Yep. Not to mention, you would get so much whiplash because of this.
You'd almost get seasick.
Yeah. This place is, as the narrator said, fantastically unsuitable for human life.
You know those oxygen tanks? It puts a whole new meaning to puff puff pass.
I don't get it.
It's a 420 joke, and if you don't get that, don't worry about it.
Is it DRUGS?
Ruggers?
Drugs.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's a joke about drugs,
Yes.
Yeah. Only except you actually
so
need this.
there are.
Except you actually need this, or else you're gonna die.
Yeah, I know.
But I see something similar to it, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that looks like people doing drugs."
Yep.
That shit is big.
Oh yeah, that's about as big as they can get. From what I read from the book, a year in the Ordovician, where this episode takes place, is 417 days.
Dude, I'm just trying to eat here, man.
Gives a whole new meaning to fishing.
It's a cephalopod.
Although, is that prehistoric giant horseshoe crab honestly get hunted down by humans? Because if you know anything about humans, if there's something new, we kill it. I would hate to dive down here.
Yeah, as I would be getting anxiety from this.
I'd be like, oh no.
Especially since we would have to live with the knowledge of what kind of damage they can do.
Whoa!
It's a cephalopod.
More specifically, this is Camarasaurus.
Hi, Bob.
No.
Apparently not. Your lunch today, sir.
Although that, hold on, trilobites are pretty much ocean-going wood lice, so they wouldn't look that different from wood lice. Seriously, if I saw those giant sea scorpions, I would honestly start getting fear of water. Like, as if sharks aren't bad enough.
I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna start throwing my trash into the ocean, we gotta choke him out.
Although you have less chance to die from a shark.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a nice little detail. Look at its siphon, like the little tube that comes out of its body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just nasty.
Well, that's how cephalopods usually feed on crustaceans.
I know.
We gotta start throwing our trash into the ocean, we gotta choke him out.
Don't listen to this man.
Yeah, don't. Way! He's having too much fun.
Wouldn't you?
All right, so you wouldn't touch a dinosaur. You wouldn't fly on a microlight with some pterosaurs. Would you at least try this?
I said I would touch a dinosaur. I would not fly. And yes, I would probably do this. I would go into the ocean and touch something.
Out of all the things, I would not do this because this shit is fucking
Oh yeah,
ocean.
and the other thing to bear in mind
I have
is that
claustrophobia, dude.
Megalographis, they're only half the size of the sea scorpions that would come later. There's one that's about as long as a crocodile.
Yeah, nah, fuck that. Like, I already hate crab-like things. I just, yeah, these things would fucking, like, I'm just chucking them back in the water. Like, imagine if we had these things alive today.
We'd be fucked.
Oh, hell
No one would go into the water.
I bet they taste good.
Oh, they would probably be good eating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be like lobster tail for real.
Mm. Oh, and look at the number they do to that little boat.
Oh, that boat is toast.
Yep.
Like, if you've seen videos of like fucking king crab, like in Norway, they like those motherfuckers will like cover the bottom. So like, imagine these dudes.
Yep. All right. Now we're going back to a more familiar time period.
Hey, I recognize that dude.
Or do you? Because this episode gives them the name Solaris, which definitely wouldn't have been around then. But some people suggested it might have been a misspelling of Silosaurus, which still makes it look wrong. Lorana, I'm assuming we'll already know why that's an issue, given we've seen Silosaurus in Path of Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Looks nothing like these. Getting revenge on their fellow friend by popping Nigel's dinghy boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a reused Coelophysis model with some new texture. Oh, here was another introduction for me.
A naked Nigel?
No. Nothosaurus.
One of my
That's
favorites.
dinosaurs?
Nothosaurus.
That's what I just said.
Which are
Bro, I would
basically
absolutely-
the early body plan for Plesiosaurus. Only difference?
bro,
They have legs, not flippers.
they need to make it so that the Nothosaurs in Evolution 3 are able to be on land.
Yep.
Instead of just purely
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at creatures.
Yep.
Yeah,
If anyone
that's-
remembers those
Eventually,
videos of
they're
crabs
gonna be
swarming and stuff,
semi-aquatics.
now imagine. I mean, we've already seen what that looks like. Yeah, basic body plan of a plesiosaur is just that the tail's longer and they have legs instead of flippers. But still, the basic body plan is there. The blueprints for it.
This would make a great creature for the mod.
Will it come though? I have no idea.
I hope so. I wish they would add it.
They're like giant otters in a way.
Mm-hmm. Or iguanodon. Or not iguanodon. Iguanas.
Again, the interactions with the environment are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
That crazy bastard.
Still, charming. He's basically the UK equivalent to Steve Irwin.
The original Florida man.
Here's another introduction. Nothosaurus is my favorite swimming four-legged British lizard. It was thought Coelophysis was a Coelurosaur at the time, which is why in the book the complete guide. But yes, that is false. Oh yeah, this is a creature that shouldn't actually feasibly exist because physics don't make sense for it.
It deleted
And yet it
physics
does.
from its like, its fucking file.
Oh, and here comes a very controversial scene.
What?
How?
Him?
Yeah.
This is false. They would not shed their tails.
They shouldn't be able to do this.
Nope. So, in real life, he actually just really injured a Tanistropheus. Oh, and here comes my all-time favorite track from this documentary, and you'll see, and you'll listen, and you'll hear why.
Banger creature that comes up.
Yep.
Mosasaurus?
Nope. Symbospondylus. You know those ichthyosaurs in our Minecraft world right now?
Yes.
That's their ancestor.
Oh.
And they were extremely predatory and aggressive.
I would love for this to come to the mud.
But listen to that music.
Yeah, right.
That guitar riff is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the model definitely looks like, oh, you could tell that it's an ichthyosaur from that head shape.
Yep. And I use this track a lot in my Path of Titans videos as well. Because it's just that fucking badass. Fuck! That soundtrack goes so hard. I love it so much.
Funny enough, so we were watching this in school, and like some kid walked in, and like it got to that part, and he thought that it transitioned into space.
No. And now we reach the age of armored fish. Ben Bartlett with his epic electric guitar. Yep. No, ichthyosaurs are not ancestors of mosasaurs. Mosasaurs came from monitor lizards. They possibly found suture lines on their tails. Nigel did say in his interview with the Gaming Beaver they found what could have been evidence Tanistropheus was capable of autonomy. Basically the process of self-mutilation.
Yeah,
Pretty bad.
baby.
nerfed the size of Dunkaloscius now.
Yeah, it's basically more squashed.
Even
Hey,
with
oop.
that, there's still some issues with it. There, for one, the armor has no skin over it.
Yeah.
Over its head.
But make no mistake, even though the Dunkleosteus is smaller now, that doesn't make it any less dangerous. That head is still the same size.
And
I love the
arguably,
time map
it's
in the
even more
show.
dangerous now because arguably it's even more dangerous because it'd probably be like it's smaller. So like if you're in like a smaller area, you could probably still get into shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh Jesus, he's actually gonna try to catch one.
No. He's getting bait.
Bro, I would love to go fishing in a time period like this.
That'd be a cool.
No,
that would be a.
nice.
That would be a cool pitch. Going
Yeah, but-
fishing in prehistory.
Yeah, but wouldn't that fuck with the timeline?
This fucks with the timeline, asshole.
This fucks with the timeline.
Fair.
And you know what? No one asks questions about it because they don't care. It's awesome. A pleasure, yet he's condemned it to death. He's condemned it to death just for this one bet.
For science.
For science.
Oh, and we actually have a name for this fish. Bothriolepis. Although now it's believed to not actually be a shark. It's, I think, more closely related to...
Cargil-
It's a cartilaginous fish, but I think it's more related to rays or chimeras.
Yeah, but it still has that body plan. So
Yeah, it still has the body plan of a shark. And it is one of the creatures that is coming to fossils and archaeology, which I'm excited about.
Oh yeah.
At one point a few years ago, I heard that Dunkleosteus had a biforce of 90,000 pounds per square inch, though this may not be accurate. I think that might be a bit too much.
I thought it was supposed to be like 45.
Yeah, that's the more likely estimates nowadays. Imagine that coming at you from at a shark cave.
Oh, I would be scared.
I'd be terrified.
I would be shitting bricks.
Let's just
The
be
one who
grateful. Let's
turns
just be
around.
grateful they're not around today.
Yet. These fuck-ass scientists.
It's now getting scary, Nigel? To be continued.
Oh, come on. I wanted to see the bone.
Dunkleosteus now, little fish. Funny enough, in Walking with Monsters, Hyneperton was bigger than Stethocactus at some species. Oh yeah, that's true. So that was episode 1 of Sea Monsters. So you see what I mean when I told you guys that this is one of those prehistoric documentaries that makes a spectacle out of giant marine predators, but in a way that's not like Jurassic Fight Club.
It does it in a good way.
Exactly. Stop. Reset. Let me go back to OBS. Make sure I do some changes. What do you guys think so far? I know this was your first time seeing it, Hacker, and of course first time for you as well, Cat.
Yes, I think it was great. I thought it was good.
Good.
I'm loving it.
I really like it.
Good. Good. And with that cliffhanger, I guess now the next episode should go ahead and queued up. There we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
And this episode, the magic word when we press play will be
Sushi.
not sushi. No, let me come out with something. Shark fin soup. I don't know why. It's just what came into my head. I was like, oh god, think of a shark.
Might as well say animal cruelty at this point.
Okay, let's actually change it. The magic word is Mako.
Okay.
Now that works.
Okay.
That works.
3, 2, 1, Mako. Good thing we have this ball-shaped cage for protection. Oh yeah, that's the one thing that's keeping them safe. Because if it was like a square cage, they'd be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you see that? He missed the rail. Another familiar face.
Oh.
Dented the bars. Yeah, give it to him.
No, oh, don't tease him. Give it to him.
Into the jaws of death. And you know what? Given the modern estimates for Dunkleosteus, yeah, this is not unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking little bug flying. Imagine if this was Steve Irwin doing this, though. Not in a bad way, of course. Oh god, he wouldn't even bother with the fucking cage.
No, he wouldn't.
Nope.
Tabarnak.
Flawless transition. And by far one of the coolest whales I've ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Meerkat was here for it. It's a whale called Basilosaurus.
Why does it have stores in its name if it's a mammal?
Because the body looked very serpent-like when they found the fossils.
Mm.
It took them a little bit to realize they had actually found a whale.
That's the chicken versus a whale.
Huh? Granted, the whole skeleton of a Basilosaurus still looks very much like a serpent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and here's a bit of shocker, Meerkat. The place that this is based on, in 37 million years, it would become the Sahara Desert. His laugh is contagious, man. It makes me smile every time. He has too much fun with this shit. Oh, and here we go with the dung again.
Ugh.
No,
Done.
why? It's shit.
Yeah,
It
but
smells terrible.
it's herbivore dung, so it's not as bad as omnivore or carnivore dung.
But it's still shit.
Oh, but get ready for this weird. Get ready for this weird fucker.
Oh, hello.
This is a real animal. Had to really emphasize the
Honestly, I
arse.
believe it.
Although nowadays it's believed it didn't have like that trunk. There was a potential scrap scene in the Triassic where the Nothosaurus laid eggs on the beach. And when the babies tried to get into the sea, they were attacked by a Cynodont, a Mastodontosaurus, and a Coelurosaur. This was retained in the book. Ooh! So we could have had a potential return of the Cynodont. I want you guys to try to guess what this thing's closest relative is.
Either
An
an
elephant.
elephant.
Anteater.
I heard two answers at the same time. Try again.
I know what it is. I know what it is. But
I
for the
said
sake of
anteater.
everyone-
She said elephant.
Well, she said either an elephant or
I was gonna say an elephant, or even maybe a rhino. I was
rhino.
gonna say rhinoceros.
Rhino. You were gonna pull Lorana instead of saying Surus. You were gonna say Saurus.
Yep.
Well, I will say one of those answers is actually right. Between those three.
Is it out? It's
Which
elephant,
one
isn't
is
it?
it?
It's an elephant.
Damn.
That's what I said.
I'm always wrong.
Reused animation. From Walking with Beasts. And if you watch Walking with Beasts, here comes another familiar face. And I can't wait to see it in Fossils and Archaeology, because that thing is a thing of beauty. Kind of a shame Dorodon. Kind of a shame Dorodon isn't a part, though.
Yeah.
Dorodon, but with new sound bites. Yep. You see the skeleton now?
Yes.
Hmm.
I actually have a tooth of a Basilosaurus.
Oh, lucky you!
You lucky bastard.
And that skull is all the information I need to not swim with that thing.
Let me grab it real quick.
These things, most assuredly, would have actually eaten a person.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like torn a person apart.
That's the skull I saw in New York, like I mentioned yesterday. Woo! Yeah, I would. God, I need to visit more museums because I would love to see a skull of a Basilosaurus in person.
Here you go.
What? Oh, you showing the tooth?
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Quite a small one.
Envy all of you people with fossils.
It's like I think it's supposed to be one of those peg teeth at the front of the jaw.
And even then, that just
Oh,
looks
that's
like
cool.
and even then, it just looks like a piece of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I think-
cool.
So the bottom part is like I think maybe the root of the tooth.
Yep. And then, of course, here I am. I have a piece of tooth from a Tyrannosaurus.
I do. The place I found it at did have like a teeth from like the back part of the jaw, but those were way more expensive, so I couldn't buy it.
Yep. Yeah, I still want to collect more fossils for my little box that I have of them.
Where'd you go?
Where
Who?
did your cat
You lost
go?
Meerkat.
Where'd she go?
Lost the man.
Fuck. Cue in the humpback whale sound effects.
Oh, there she
There
is.
she is.
What happened?
What happened?
Actually moved my phone
Huh?
because I was gonna go put. I moved to my
Ah,
phone so I could.
cook. Yeah.
My foot is swelling up, so I'm gonna go put my foot up.
Fair enough. Again, not a bad strategy for attracting a prehistoric whale over. It's just that it's not guaranteed to succeed.
I'm gonna move my phone real quick. I'm gonna need to take my dog out.
Alright. I own a Spinosaurus tooth and a very recently got a Megalodon tooth with barnacles on it from my cousins. Oh, sweet! Also, that was clearly just a humpback whale.
Mhm.
And there it
Okay.
is.
I still love the coloration that they gave it.
This is still my definitive Basilosaurus.
Wow.
Yeah, the coloration is similar to like a dolphin mixed with a shark.
Yoink.
Dunk.
Oh. And here comes a name we're all familiar with, even if you haven't seen this.
Yes.
Megalodon.
Yeah.
Gibbering wreck. He has those jaws on the side of his house.
Wow.
And I've actually gotten to see a cast replica of Megalodon jaws, and oh man, I felt really small.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason they have this discussion here, but not in any other sea, is because it's a shark.
Yeah.
Something we're all familiar with.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nigel had to relinquish, which he was not pleased about. To be totally honest, I would have skipped this dive altogether.
Well, yeah.
Not to mention, this was also before the fact we knew about Leviathan, the giant sperm whale that ate Megalodon. Flippin' heck.
No matter how you look at it, it is still terrifying.
Yep. And this is just a baby. Saying Nigel's got experiences thanks to Shark Week. Oh yeah, he watched like the person he was presenting with get a chunk bitten off his leg by a bull shark.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Whoa.
about that.
Shame the only appearance of macroraptorial sperm whales is in Jurassic Fight Club. Yeah, that's a bummer. But I guess they're pretty much sperm whales filling the niche of pilot whales and orcas. Gotcha, bitch.
Whoa!
Ah, yeah, my condolences, mate. Actually, that's no longer considered true.
What isn't?
Megalodon being closely related to great white sharks.
Mm. What is it considered close to now?
There was a shark from like 60 million years ago called Otodus, and now they're like now Megalodon is just considered a different species of Otodus.
I think he meant more of like
Bless
a
you.
modern relative.
No, there's no modern relatives of Megalodon alive today.
Shark physiology.
I bel-
Yeah, I meant
Always
modern
attack the booty
relatives.
of your food for your own safety. Yeah, always attack the ass end.
Trying to figure out what I'm gonna get for dinner later.
Hmm. The Meg should have hired Nigel as a consultant.
Consultant.
Yeah.
Bro should have been bro should have been in the movie rather
Yeah.
than Jason Statham.
That's kind of a graphic image, just like all that blood pouring out.
Mhm. No, that's what happens when you chum the water.
Yep. Oh, and get ready for kind of another hilarious blooper that they left in this. Watch the shark fin in the next scene. Look at that. You see the problem?
Yeah.
It's going backwards.
Yep.
Sharks
I did not notice that.
Sharks can't swim backwards. This is basically Walking with Dinosaurs meets Jaws for this segment. Oh yeah, for sure. And they really build this shit up.
The theme for the Meg is pretty Jaws-esque.
Yep. There is no amount of money you would pay me that would be worth diving into a shark cage to dive with a megalodon.
You know, I'll give you $20. I'll do it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I dead ass do it. Like, when is the last time I'm gonna do it?
You are crazy.
You're not wrong on that. But my town has awful fucking food options.
No shit.
I would be shitting myself. Oh yeah, did you see that? That the shark's eyes rolled back into its head.
If this was in the water, you would see brown in the water really quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Yep. Especially the music. Oh yeah, the music, it just keeps escalating, which I love about this. This series lives for the spectacle of these giant prehistoric animals. But I love it, man. It is so good.
Okay, the reason I love the chase by specials in particular is that you can get a good grasp of scale.
Yeah,
On how
that's the other thing.
Are.
That's the other thing now. With Nigel here, we can actually get an idea of just how massive these things are. So, how does he remedy this?
Oh my god, is he gonna get out of the cage?
He's pissed off. He's like, give me the damn food already.
Is this still episode 2
Well-
or are we on episode 3 yet?
I'm sorry, I don't think Jason Statham would still fuck with a megalodon if, you know, he actually encountered one in real life.
Is this episode 2 still?
You're muffled.
Yep.
Do you hear me better?
Yes.
Is this still episode 2 or are we on episode 3 yet? I got
No,
tracked in.
we're about to go into episode 3.
Which is the last one. And where's Nigel?
Oh no.
And it leaves off once again on a cliffhanger. Did he live? Or was he caught?
There's a third episode. There's just
It just
I mean,
continue. It just
If
continue.
there's a third,
It just is told from like one of the crew members' perspective. You heard about the movie The Meg. I think he could take on a megalodon. Yeah, I have heard about the Meg, but there's no human being would be brave enough to get that close to a megalodon. Tim Haynes and Jasper James
Give me $50 and I'll do it.
did mention in the behind the scenes that during the production of the Dinosaurs and Beasts about what it would be like to have a person for scale. Yeah. All right. And now we're ready to move on to the finale of the Chased by Dinosaurs special. And for this one, The special word is hell. And there's a reason for that particular word.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
More specifically, Hell's Aquarium. So, with that said, let's begin. 3, 2, 1, hell.
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 And this series especially is the
Welcome
only
to
time the franchise
Helldivers.
coincided with an unfortunate event. If you know, you know. Oh, did it? Oh, that's unfortunate.
How much money do I have? Okay, yeah, that's the last thing I'm
To hell and back. Yeah, Nigel and Tim Haynes had their second meeting during the... Oh, yeah, that's really unfortunate. Yeah.
What
What?
happened?
During the production, Nigel and Tim Haynes had their second meeting during Memorial Day. The day it happened. You know, when the planes hit the towers.
Yeah, September.
Oh. Okay.
That is kind of tragic, yeah.
I didn't even know that trivia. Okay.
But yeah, Nigel lived, and he said, "You idiot! Such language, Nigel." The little hop with joy. Like, yes!
$50 for a pizza.
And that's the
There you go,
price.
you deserve your food.
And that's the price you're willing to pay to get into a cage with a megalodon.
No, I will. Give me $50 and I'll do it.
There's no amount of money in the world, because I just know that if I die, that's just money I'm not gonna get or spend.
How about 100,000?
No amount of money would be worth it, dude.
Dude, if I were to present it with you like right then and there, I think you take it.
I would not. There is no amount of money that would be worth it. None. Because then, if I die, I can't spend it.
Estimated arrival like 8 p.m. What the hell? Spent 50 fucking dollars.
The Ancient Mariner.
I'm going to the bank tomorrow and I need to get more. I need to deposit some money. So I'm running low.
Yep.
Because I bought three Transformers figures, and in the span of like 2 days,
Okay.
actually 4,
Jesus.
because
And again, this was before we knew about Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
Good old VHS recording.
are we gonna watch Prehistoric Park?
I'm going to say it again. And this is the last time I'm going to say it. The whole point of this is just to get through this and then make our way into the Walking with Dinosaurs new series on PBS. And if we have the stamina for it, if we're really willing to do it, we'll then go through the golden age of dinosaur documentaries, which will include Prehistoric Planet as like the send-off. I mean, not Prehistoric Planet, Prehistoric Park. I miss the good old days of VHS when I grew up in the early 2000s. Oh yeah, but they did not last long. Especially, ones you've watched religiously. Yep. Back to the Jurassic. What a terrible movie.
Yes.
And again, if you watch Walking with Dinosaurs, there should be a familiar face. And it's listed right there.
Oh, hello.
Yep. Liopleurodon makes a return. But that's not the only one.
My introduction to Lid 50s.
What?
This would be my introduction to Lid 50s.
Yep. And these are actually supposed to come to Path of Titans. They're going to be the biggest playable.
Although most people, I think, know this thing from Ark, unfortunately,
Well,
as that big ass thing that sinks your boats.
well, I only know it from this because I don't like Ark.
Yeah, I know. But hey, I mean, as long as people know about it, then hey,
Yep.
Good on them, I guess.
There's no such thing as bad exposure when it comes to prehistory. That's a lie.
That's a lie. Yeah.
In the book, Cryptoclydus and Ophthalmosaurus made an appearance when talking about how to avoid Liopleurodon. Oh, that's funny. So we could have got more of the cast from Walking with Dinosaurs, but they were cut. That's a shame. Here's another familiar face. Go away. Hey, at least it's not the Mosasaurus. Num num.
Yo, Metriorhynchus would be a cool ass addition if they were to add it to the mod.
Although nowadays Metriorhynchus is dubious.
Aw, damn it, fuck.
Mr. Wasteback.
Or like,
Yep.
I know they,
Hold on.
like I know they have like
Mr. Wastebasket Taxon Hybotus. Yeah, Hybotus even now is kind of a dubious genius right now. And yet that's going to be coming in fossils and archaeology for some reason.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I think maybe you could kind of squeeze it into there.
Oh,
Kinda.
there it is.
But I know they have plans for Dacosaurus because that has a model.
Yep. And that's probably as close as we're going to get.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already on the Elite Zichthys. There you are, Charles. It's a Leopleurodon, Charlie. Magical Leopleurodon. And, of course, just like in Walking with Dinosaurs, it is massively oversized. But they
honestly,
do have a bit...
I like it that way.
But they
Wouldn't
did
be
it...
the same.
But they do have a workaround. The Hybotus would be replaced with Astriacanthus, and Metrorhynchus would be replaced with Thalattosuchus. Itchy nose. This is the workaround. These quote-unquote young Liopleurodon, they're actually a life-size Liopleurodon in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
That's as big as they actually get. Not as big, but still quite big. Definitely big enough to kill a person. See, I find it ironic that they continued to have the giant Liopleurodon, but then proceeded to make quote-unquote juveniles that are actually how big they were in real life.
Although it would feel weird if they were to do Liopleurodon again and then just have it be like it's the size that it is in real life. I do like if only Walking with Dinosaurs can make the big Liopleurodon, and I'll be like, yay!
Yeah, I will say this color scheme for Liopleurodon was so popular. Not only is it on the Kronosaurus from Jurassic World Evolution 2, but the Liopleurodon for Fossils and Archaeology has the same coloration.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Perhaps not potential. I'm wondering why the Liopleurodon wasn't introduced into Jurassic World. Perhaps not to potentially overshadow the kaiju-sized Mosasaurus. Oh god!
Honestly,
and again, this is another one of my favorite tracks because as it goes on, it just gets louder and louder and more sinister.
Mm-hmm.
as much as I like Kronosaurus in Evolution 2, I wouldn't mind if they were to cut it, but then replace the Liopleurodon model they already have in Evolution 2 with the Kronosaurus model.
Yeah. Despite its massive size, you know, if you kept the juveniles like that and give them a tail fluke, this would be my definitive Liopleurodon.
Oh, by the way, it's also on the Metallocronosaurus.
Oh, that too, yeah. There's a reason why people like this color scheme.
Yeah.
And also, it's not outside the realm of possibility because, you know, a lot of predatory creatures today in the ocean have counter shading that's mostly black and white. So this isn't too far off, potentially. Got him. And I guess the first most dangerous thing in the ocean, thanks to sea monsters, is a freaking giant mosasaurus. And reminder, he's not in a cage this time.
Mhm.
And this is at the moment when you had to book it. Yeah, it's time to go now.
Yeah, run!
Yeah. Yep. Hell's Aquarium. Arguably the most dangerous prehistoric ocean you could find yourself in. And this will be the last time we see the Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex. Ah, here we go. Hesperornis. Well, at this point, T-Rex wouldn't have evolved. There were Tyrannosaurs at this time, just not T-Rex. And you can tell this is just reused footage of the Cryptoclydus. Well, the thing about that Godzilla is that snakes kind of came from monitor lizards. So it was a safe assumption at the time. Yeah, see, it's the exact same theme from Walking with Dinosaurs. They've just changed Ophthalmosaurus and Cryptoclydus out for Hesperornis. Oh, and this was also my introduction to the bulldog fish. I think the book confirmed them to be Cretoxy or something. The shark.
Hmm.
And cue the Halosaurus. Yep, this is one of the smaller species of mosasaur. Well, we now know they're actually more closely related to monitor lizards, but still. I think the biggest mosasaur we got is Mosasaurus itself. And I think the biggest we have is only 50 feet.
By the way, that was a King Kong in 1976 roar.
Yep. Which was originally a Tom and Jerry sound effect.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
In that episode where
Because,
it's an episode where Tom smacked like the baby mouse, and Jerry saw it, and he just got so mad he roared.
Because I know some of the roars were recorded by Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime.
I am Optimus Prime.
Although he was uncredited for it in the credits.
And the Pteranodons are back, this time in the right place.
Yep.
This would be awesome. And this is probably one of the more gruesome shots in the documentary. Yeah. Half of its body is gone. And I don't think Mosasaurus had the jaw strength to actually crunch through an Archelon shell. But we do know they did eat them, as there is an Archelon fossil that is missing a flipper, which is an indication that a Mosasaur bit it off.
Wow.
Made real, a prehistoric dragon does potentially fly over Hell's Aquarium, but 10 million years later than this segment. Yep. This is the Walking with series. What were we going to expect? Imagine a crossover with dragons and chased by specials. Nigel would be going flippin' heck. Yeah, that'd be cool. Comes over there expecting dinosaurs, marine reptiles, and pterosaurs. Just sees a fucking dragon fly past.
The fucking deadly natter from fucking How to Train Your Dragon.
No, the prehistoric dragon from Dragons of Fantasy Made Real.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I may honestly add that to the list because technically speaking, it is a paleoduck.
It's a mockumentary, but you know,
It does have dinosaurs in it, so I'm like, oh, should I?
leagues better than the other shit they made.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we got more shit like that, other than the fake
Yep.
ass, those like
Now,
deceiving ones.
bear in mind, he said he did not want to dive in here because it was too dangerous. But the moment he sees a living Archelon, he's like, ah, fuck it, I'm gonna go in.
And exist the urges, I guess.
I'm sorry, but mosasaurs, Xiphactinus, giant turtles, and sharks. I'm not diving here. No. There's just too much risk.
Give me 5 and I'll do it.
No. This is made by Framestore, and Tim Haynes was the Dragon consultant for the show. Yeah, that is true. Uh-oh. And the moment he decides to ride the turtle, there's a problem. That turtle. Oh!
Start speaking like the turtle from Finding Nemo.
Just gotta find him first. Well, you better find him fast. Yep. Interestingly, there is a scene in the intro of this episode and the first one that shows a mosasaur grabbing a Zephectinus. And it's led to believe that's actually a deleted scene, which explains how Nigel escaped from it. But obviously, it's cut. So we don't see it. But it's not done yet. They got one more surprise for us. A gigantic Tylosaurus.
Whoa.
And Nigel does make a statement about blood being in water. So perhaps that happened off screen. Yeah, thank God they're choosing the boat, because if they chose them, they'd be fucked. Also, we have no fossil evidence that mosasaurs traveled together. In fact, their fossilized remains show they were actually quite aggressive towards each other.
Oh.
As we have skulls of several species of mosasaurs that look like they've been bitten into by other mosasaurs.
Damn.
So, chances are, they probably hated each other. The great dinghy flipping of 75 million years BC. Yeah, there's that line. There's still blood in the water. But it's not quite done yet. Just wait. Sun's going down. Everything seems calm. Everyone's sleeping soundly. But what's this?
Oh no.
And that, my friends, was the end of Sea Monsters and Chased by Dinosaurs.
Honestly, the sea monster is my favorite of the specials.
S tier. S tier.
Hold on.
documentary.
Slow your roll. All right. Cue the armada of Tylosaurus, because there's thousands. Yeah. Meerkat, are you still among us? Are you conversational? Nope. I just heard her snore. She fell asleep.
Uh-oh.
No!
Wake up!
She fell asleep. Again.
Wake the fuck up!
I did not.
Oh my god. It sounded like you were snoring.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She
Okay.
totally was. She's lying.
I might have been asleep, but I was somewhat conscious.
Right. So, would you like to start us off?
Sure.
So,
I
Who's
was
starting
not
us off?
overly. I was okay.
go on.
I was gonna say, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good documentary, but I still felt very much it was a documentary about sharks.
Well, we're not just talking
I
about
wanted
sea
to watch a
monsters.
shark.
We're talking about, chased by, like, the actual dinosaur episodes as well, as a whole.
Oh, as a whole, I loved it. But, one of the problems I have with documentaries in general is they do have a tendency to put me to sleep. And that's not saying that it's not a bad thing. That is a problem I've had since I was a kid. Probably why my grandmother used to put them on to make me go to sleep.
Oh, dear.
So, which is, and the fact that I'm kind of laying down doesn't help it. But I thought it was good.
And what do you
It
think
doesn't
of
help the
our...
fact that I am laying
And what do you think of our charming host, Nigel, now that you've seen him?
Nigel, the fact that he's doing this while acting with puppets is hilarious, and I love him, and I want to actually see him in real documentary,
Well, there
not
are
just the
plenty to choose from. Don't worry. Ugh.
But yeah, I think he's fun. He's not as fun as say Steve Irwin, but he's just as fun.
Yep.
Of course, I don't think anybody would be as well, except for Robert. I don't think anybody is going to be as fun as Steve Irwin.
And I believe he also met Steve Irwin one time. He went to his house, and for some reason, I could be totally wrong. Like I'm remembering this interview he did with the Gaming Beaver. Steve had 3 Komodo dragons in his living room.
Whoa!
That does not surprise me.
Like,
Steve
damn.
was the original Florida man.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, Steve Irwin was the original Florida man. Steve Irwin was the Florida man all Florida men wish to be.
Yeah. He lived his life every day on a knife's edge, and he was damn proud of that.
The founding Florida man.
Yeah. So, after now having seen Chased by Dinosaurs, where would you rank this?
I would say it's a good A for me. I mean, it just is. Because it's something that I would watch. I would watch it again. I was entertained by it, and despite the falling asleep part. I mean, for me, honestly, a good documentary is going to hit S tier if it can keep me awake.
Yep. Bless Steve Irwin's soul. Yeah, rest in peace, buddy.
Yes.
So you say A tier.
Yes.
All right, Charles.
But where specifically?
Okay, I know I'm heavily biased on this because I grew up watching this, but I still think it's S tier because it's giving it a human host as like the focus point gives it like a sense of you can have a much sense of greater scale on the animals that are being presented, and it adds stakes to the story because you're not just watching like dinosaurs you're not just watching dinosaurs go throughout their lives. You have somebody who can interact with them, and the dinosaurs can interact back with them, so in turn they are somewhat of a threat. And like, so it's like you are a little bit, you are worrying about Nigel's safety as he's trying to show them off to the viewers. And plus in Chased by Dinosaurs, the models are a little bit better than in Walking with Dinosaurs. More specifically, the Tarbosaurus is better than the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Although the same can't be said for Argent, but still. And it's just generally really fun to watch because it's just like this, like you could tell Nigel was having fun during this whole production, and because of that, we're having fun watching him have fun.
Right?
Yeah. And so I would say it is a solid S tier because of that. I think if there's going to be any of them that are going to be an S tier, it should be Chased by Dinosaurs,
Mm-hmm. Mezzo?
in my humble opinion.
Would you like to give your thoughts now?
Although before we're going to measure stuff, I should say that like if we're placing in a category, we should say where in the category because we do have others in the category.
Well, I think we're mostly kind of, well, aside from Meerkat, I think we know where this belongs. I think we have a general consensus of where this is going to go. Go ahead,
Honestly,
Mezzo.
I'll let y'all vote. I don't really.
Yeah.
Hecker.
Most of
Yeah,
my
go ahead. Go ahead.
Hecker. It was good.
Enough said.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Okay.
You gonna rank it?
Okay, I said A. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm just kind of cranky. I'm tired.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, you said A.
Let me go. Yes, I said A. Is this show campy? Yes, it's campy. It's cheesy. It's corny, but it's so much fun.
Yep.
You know, you can't help but love it. So yeah, I say like A or S. They're both really great.
Yep. Well, with that said, why don't you go ahead and get some sleep, big guy? We got what we needed.
Thank you.
All right, take care, bud. All right. So, Hacker, since this was your first viewing experience of these, what do you think?
I mean, I don't really like to rank things. One, because I don't want to be controversial. Two, some things I just love so much equally. I can put one top over the other, but for this, I will put it either high A or S. Just the fact that you have someone interacting in like the place, plus you have someone like you can, well, not say relate to, but you have fun with the guy. He's having fun, you're having fun.
Yep.
Overall, a good experience.
Yep. All right. Lorana?
It has to go in S tier. It has to go in S. Because
It would be a
one,
crime not to.
not only do you have Nigel's reaction, you also have the reaction of the camera guys, the production crew. They interact with these creatures as much as Nigel does, if not more, because they have to keep a track of them.
Yep.
Oh
That
yeah.
goes above and beyond what other documentaries do, so it has to go in S tier. And the models are great, even though some of them are exaggeratedly big. It's still good.
Okay.
Honestly, the only model I don't like is Argentinosaurus.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
think
not-
anyone.
you're not
I
in
don't
that boat
think.
alone.
I don't think anyone does. Especially with what we know
Yeah.
Argentinosaurus actually looks like now. Because believe me, the real Argentinosaurus, oh, it is beautiful.
Yeah, a hands
I need
like
an
the
image
you
of it.
versus the guy she told you not to worry about type situation.
Okay, so now I guess it comes down to me as the final decision. This was, like Charles said, this is one I grew up with as a kid. I have fond memories during my summer vacation of going with my mother to the library to check out DVDs. This was always one I would get. And I just remember, eating junk food, watching this stuff, like just watching the brain rot unfold. You know, as a dinosaur nerd, it introduced me to so much. If it weren't for this documentary, I wouldn't have known things like Therizinosaurus, Tarbosaurus, or things like that from a very young age. I think what really made this stand out, and what might even put it above Walking with Dinosaurs for me, which is, now that I say that, that might be a bit controversial, is Nigel. Nigel makes the special. He is
Oh yes, he does.
all around a wonderful person. Awesome human
He's
being.
the Steve Irwin of the dinosaur world.
Yeah, he is the Steve Irwin of dinosaurs, basically. He is also, like, in real life too, like, he's genuinely a amazing human being. He brings so much life and personality to these documentaries, and like David Attenborough, I feel like the paleo community will feel a great loss when he's gone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pray that day doesn't come.
Or at least anytime soon. I would love to see another modern dinosaur documentary with him. Shoot, he pitched the idea himself. I would love to see him dive with a Spinosaurus.
Ugh.
That would be
If
awesome.
you were to get, at John Favreau, get him on Prehistoric Planet. That would go hard as fuck.
Yeah. And I heard you guys bring similar points, like his laugh, his interactions, they always make me smile. Like, he is just so charming. There's only like once every few lifetimes when a wildlife presenter is having just as much fun as the viewer. When they have so much fun, you have fun alongside with them. That's a person that's kind of like a dime a dozen. And again, like you guys said, interacting with the prehistoric animals is something that I don't think has actually ever been done before to, as a paleo doc. Yeah, we have stuff like Jurassic Park where, the characters interact with dinosaurs, they're eaten by dinosaurs and things like that. But like as a wildlife presenter, and this is what he does for a living, right? He actually did animal documentaries like here in the modern day long before he did it for dinosaurs. So this was kind of like, and this was like his first step into that realm of, being a wildlife presenter, but for prehistoric animals. No one had ever done it before. And if you ask me, no one has done it better since. Jeff Corwin tried, well, to some effect. And then we had that weird South Korean documentary where it didn't even have a paleontologist or anyone like that had any study in biology. They just had a fucking comedian of all people.
Like scientific, any knowledge.
No scientific backing
comedian.
whatsoever. It's just a comedian in a very hilariously made, you can only watch ironically, South Korean documentary Adventures of Ceratops.
Like you watch that just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. The science in it is good, actually, but you just can't take it seriously, dude. And also, like you guys also said, it's not just his interactions, it's just that, like, and I guess we shouldn't really blame Walking with Dinosaurs for this, there was a lack of scale. Like, they tell you how big an animal is, but without, like, a person there, it's kind of hard to imagine what that's going to look like. Now that we have Nigel, who's, like, a tall dude, he just said himself, he's like 6'2". He's like a average-sized human. You put him right next to these things, and it really puts into scale just how big these animals were. And I feel like that's something that's missing in a lot of, not just documentaries, but, like, games, too. Like, Mooney and I, whenever we talk about Path of Titans, we feel like there's a lack of scaling, because there's nothing, that looks... Or, well...
Oui.
What?
I'm talking to my dad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like most paleo media, with, like, especially documentaries and games, they lack that sense of scale. They don't really show how big this thing would be in comparison to a human. And with Nigel as our stand-in, we finally have a grasp of just how colossal or how small these animals are.
Like I said earlier, he makes you forget that they're puppets.
Yeah. Like, it looked like the CGI, granted, it's dated, but this was made in, like, in the early 2000s, so let's be totally real. It's not going to look crisp. But back in the day, people legitimately thought that shit was real. He has zoom. He has
the CGI did not age well.
Yeah. Like, he has, like, on his website, you can have, like, a Zoom call with him when he's not filming. He mentioned, like, during an interview that, like, kids would always, like, watch these documentaries and, like, ask him stuff about it. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool. But yeah, Nigel being in this totally changed the game, and I'm so shocked that we haven't gotten another dinosaur documentary like this, to this quality and degree, since. Like, imagine, right? Imagine if we actually got another, like, wildlife presenter, like, actually interact with a prehistoric animal. That would be amazing.
Oh my god,
because the dinosaur media in general ebbs and flows.
Yep.
It's like when there's a big dinosaur movie running around, something like a Jurassic Park, the love of dinosaurs and the want for dinosaur media ramps up. And then it's like afterwards it kind of dies off for a little while. The reason why we've gotten so much dinosaur media in the last, I'd say, about 10 years is because of movies like, I hate to say it, Dominion.
Well, I'd say even before then, Jurassic World was kind of what spurred dinosaur, like, more attention back to dinosaur media.
Right. And, and it also leads into movies like
65.
Godzilla and yeah, as bad as 65 was.
And of course, the likes of well, actually no, Godzilla the 2014 Godzilla came out before Jurassic World did. So
yeah.
Yes.
And that kind of brought more attention to giant monsters on the big screen again, less than dinosaurs.
Yes.
But yeah, there is something to be said about like the impact the Jurassic World franchise has had when it comes to recent dinosaur media, because after Jurassic Park 3, there were several attempts at like trying to grab public interest in dinosaurs again with documentaries or direct to TV VHSs and shit like that. Shoot, Roger Corman never really truly gave up on making his very crappy, low budget dinosaur horror flicks or dinosaur monster flicks. Looking at you, Dino Croc. Looking at you, Super Gator. Looking at all of those. It's just like people were craving dinosaur media after Jurassic Park 3. They wanted more. And then their prayers were answered in 2015 when Jurassic World finally came to being. And then there was just a big push for dinosaur media. Like games like The Isle, Mesozoica, Saurian. All those came out of the woodwork with mixed success. And it seems that with the Jurassic franchise continuing, more and more public interest is showing for dinosaurs. And at the end of the day, that's a win for all of us, because that means there is a chance for stuff like this to, come out in this decade, in this day and age, when we have the technology to make photorealistic CGI dinosaurs. And you know what? That's a future I most look forward to. And shoot, Nigel isn't even done with Paleodocs, because don't forget, Forgotten Bloodlines is an uptitle coming, where we actually go to the Age of Mammals, and he narrates it. So that's something to look forward to. And of course, Nigel still isn't done with dinosaurs, as he is one of the characters in Prehistoric Kingdom.
Yep.
So Nigel never really left the dinosaur sphere, and in fact, people have gone on to say that Prehistoric Kingdom is actually a sequel to Prehistoric Park, which I 110% believe as fact. So,
Yep, that is
banking on not just nostalgia, but like the quality of it, the creatures themselves are fantastic for the most part. I mean, I'm staring incredulously at, figuratively, I'm staring incredulously at that Argentinosaurus, be like, you could have been better. The effects dated, but still believable. Nigel as a host is absolutely charming. I would love to, actually personally shake his hand and thank him for making my childhood. He was a hero to me. He was the real life equivalent to Alan Grant to me.
yeah, man. Not just you. It's like me too.
Yep. And with that, I also have to place Chased by Dinosaurs in S tier. And I think I heard more S's than A's, so blood-ow!
Yeah.
Slap it right into S tier.
Okay. Ta-da, ta-da.
I guess it's because of the whole handling wild
Yeah.
animals trope is very controversial nowadays. So it'd be more controversial with prehistoric animals. Man,
Yeah.
when did people become a bunch of pansies? Seriously. I'm kind of glad I grew up in a generation.
Since 2016.
I'm glad that I kind of grew up in a generation where this type of media was more mainstream, where, you had actual wildlife presenters just snatching animals and then putting them back and shit like that. Like that's how it was done back in the day. Yeah. So with that,
Robert Irwin still does that.
yep. And with that, that is the end of our Chased by Dinosaurs watch party. But we're not done just yet. Tomorrow, we will continue our journey. And actually, our last stretch of the journey through the old trilogy of Life Saga, with the next installment being Walking with Monsters, Life Before the Dinosaurs. And then we'll wrap it up with the actual Walking with Dinosaurs film that was released in the 2010s. But of course, like I said before, that will be the Cretaceous cut. So no whiny dialogue, nothing like that. It's going to be no talking whatsoever. So we get to enjoy it the way it was meant to be viewed. And then Monday, hopefully, we'll finally dip our toes at last into the new Walking with Dinosaurs series. But that's for another time.
Although I would like to say the Cretaceous cut of the Walking with Dinosaurs movie, it still has some of those weird edits from the original cut of the movie. So
Yeah.
all of those title, like all of those like graphics and like rewind bits and like all those other weird editing, those are still in the movie, but now in complete silence. So like the things that were made for the voiceovers are just now in silence, so it's even more awkward.
Yeah. But I feel like now we'll actually get
So I
to
just
see
wish
how
it
is
I don't
just
know
went
how
how.
I'm gonna be able
and
to
just
watch.
Don't worry. Once again, I will supply.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the new series. I don't know how I'm gonna watch that since I don't have PBS.
I mean, I can try running some tests, like actually, like because it'll be on the PBS website, so maybe I can try a work around with that. We'll see. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's gonna be accessible for us Canadians, but I'll try.
Well, Hacker, I've shared my screen up until this point. If I can do it again for the new Walking With series, it's no problem. But anyway, this is where we're gonna have to call it a night. Join us again tomorrow. Wait, hold on. What's this?
Are we not supposed to stream tomorrow?
Oh, Deku just came in. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
well, it's because you have proper professionals handling wild animals. Nowadays, we kind of have non-professionals doing it at a service. Yeah, that's what sucks about it. You have to actually have a professional. But yeah, tomorrow we will be continuing our Walking with Watch Party with Walking with Monsters and the Walking with Dinosaurs film. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed it and you're looking forward to more, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All my links are in the link tree in the description down below. Check out Meerkat on Twitch whenever you can. And until next time, this is Tyrannosaurus and Friends signing off. Alrighty then. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.